the cities should be rethought almost as corridors of interconnectivity that are of, let's say, of first-rate importance, or first hierarchy, that should be able to work in the moment of an environmental crisis, regardless of the impact. So they have to be safeguarded, they have to be put in place, and the systems and structures put in place so that as a collective resource is always sort of safeguarded and taken care of. Minorities of all sorts, including Black Americans and Latin Americans, and minorities like the elderly, for example, have larger percentages of vulnerability with a pandemic like this. So how do we deal with these inequalities in terms of access to information, access to technology? With the remote work, there has been almost a universal assumption that people have access to the internet in order to be able to work remotely, or that families have access to internet for their kids to stay at home and learn remotely from the house. Communication is key, and here we have seen those of us that are privileged to be able to do this, to be able to talk on a computer, versus those that really have barely any signal at all, if anything but a phone, perhaps. I think that it's an exciting time design-wise, and I use the term design because as a society we have to design these new modes of operating. It's challenging and positive, the design problem of how do we develop based on these experiences. Just like we need to structure remote work, and we need to structure learning modes in schools and universities, I think that our habits of socialization need to be reset, and new standards and new modes of inhabiting space that safeguard the individual needs, but at the same time the public good and sort of the overall good, both need to be reconciled there. We took turns sort of going over each of our situation and sort of our perspective. I cannot emphasize how important the friendships that have established through that, and also the senses of collaboration and exchange and sort of perspective, and the opportunity of sort of that this cohort gives of being connected to a broader world and broader issues and wicked problems that each one of us was dealing with when we were at Bellagio, but at the same time sharing problems that are common to us right now, because all of us are sort of suffering from similar circumstances. So it was fantastic.